So cyberbullying is the key for females. So education on this is going to be critical because we've got some nasty girls out there, boys as well. It's beginning to be it's on an incline for males that are active with cyberbullying, but it generally is more physical for our boys and more virtual, kind of behind your back type things for girls. But clearly the biggest thing now is cyberbullying is just off the charts. So identified risks are a low tolerance for frustration, poor coping skills. These are the things for our adolescents that are our warning signs. Lack of resilience, okay, a failed love relationship, resentment, depression, self-centeredness, alienation. These are all concerns for an adolescent. So threats to an adolescent's well-being are tobacco, alcohol, illegal drugs, prescription drugs, and non-prescription drugs can also be there. Social networking, again, can be good, but can also be very, very harmful to an adolescent. If I'm trying to form a positive self-identity and I have someone ripping me to shreds on social media, after a while that can chip away. And this is the critical aspect that we have, and where we need to come around in our middle schools and high schools and create kind of a safe place, a safe haven, where it is reported that the number one cause of bullying, why it can lead to suicide, is because the person feels they don't have anyone to tell. They feel if they told, it would only make it worse. So we have to combat that. We have to address that, hit that head on, and figure out ways. And there are safe places and different aspects that are coming into play that schools are putting there, where you can find out this person was very troubled, just as we said on this other one. Were they starting to alienate? Did they seem depressed? Were they very, very self-centered? Were they very self-conscious? Is there a lack of resilience of things that no one wants to fail, but you should be able to fail, take a little while, and then be able to bounce back. At some point, you drop down and you don't bounce back up, and you stay down. And if you stay down as an adolescent, there's cause for concern because we need that resilience. I know you didn't make that team. You ran for that office, you didn't get it. I realize that, but you know what? Let's go on to something else. And there should be a period of time at which they can bounce back. And if not, we'd be concerned. Poor coping skills, and they become very frustrated very easily. Again, that is also one. Best birth control, the best aspect that can be presented to adolescents to avoid teenage pregnancy is obviously abstinence. Not the case for everyone. So what are the issues? Who needs to be informed? Who needs to present this information? Is this parents? Is this the church? Is this caregivers? Is it the school? Is it the coaches? Where does this information come from? Is this a billboard? How best can we tap into our adolescents? And we know they have the information, but we need to help them connect the dots for what this will look like for their future. And usually if you can tap into, this isn't just a statistic for the United States or for Oklahoma or for your town or for your school. We're talking about you. And what is your game plan to make sure that you stay on course for your goals and aspirations for your life and help support that? So again, is that coming through the school? Who's going to put that in? And my argument would be that we need to hit from every angle, but we need to not make it so broad. We need to make sure it's personable, because with that egocentristic perspective, if they feel like this is going to impact me, they're more apt to pay attention and be alert and have this on their radar and have a game plan. So the link to dropout rates, teen pregnancy is a leading cause of high school dropouts. So 51% of young women who become mothers as teens get their high school degree by the age of 22, compared to 89% of young women who are not teens. So we're saying just shy of 90% of all females are going to graduate from high school. Okay, so where'd that other 10% go, right? And then 51% is our number for graduating if you've got a baby in tow. By the time you graduate high school, you're not going to graduate 50%. Only half will graduate is what that statistic is saying. So another stat for you to pay attention to. Children born as a result of an unplanned pregnancy are more likely to experience adverse health and developmental consequences. Teen mothers are more likely to deliver preterm babies with a low birth weight. And as we've mentioned, if you can rewind everything back to our very, very first lecture on the newborns, what did we say? All the health risks, almost all, let me put it that, almost all of the health risks stem off of a preterm infant. So if you're not having the prenatal care, or you're low birth weight infant, there's a huge list of complications that baby can experience. And this is saying that this is extremely high for the teenage mom. In addition, 1/3 of teens do not see a healthcare provider. 1/3 of teens do not see a healthcare provider. So if that's a mom with a pregnancy, that's not going to be good. So children of teen parents suffer high rates of abuse and neglect because that stress is there. Okay, we're going to enter, it just has a slippery slope of them. It can feed it, not always, but it can feed into low socioeconomic income. It can come into state of poverty, fewer resources that are available. Everything is going to be more challenging. Not that it can't be done, but is that resilience going to be there? Is that grit going to be there when you have a teen that's going to, now we know it's going to be a harder, steeper road for you just to get to high school graduation, let alone the fact you wanted to go to college. And what about those dreams? You can do it, but you're going to have a few more challenges as a result. And so these are all aspects to consider. Most of the public sector costs of teen childbearing are associated with the children of teen mothers. Okay, so that's a lot of the cost is from teenage moms. And then if you look at just in the state of Oklahoma, the Oklahoma DHS, Department of Human Services, for teenage moms that feed, how many kids and babies are in the DHS system looking for homes, which is great that they're alive and can be placed, but we're trying to place in homes because of some of these pregnancies, that if we could have supported this or had resources in place, it could have maybe been postponed, or it could have been, there are programs in place that, yeah, you have that baby, you can attend here, you can have childcare while you attend school, and we're getting our ducks in a row. We're just slow, unfortunately, here in Oklahoma. We're a little slow to get the resources into place, but we want to come and say, ideally, just looking at the statistics, ideally, you maybe not want to have a pregnancy when you are can't drive yet. You're not 16 and now you're pregnant. Obviously, that's not statistically ideal, and you're going to have a few more strikes against you. But if that was the case, here are our resources here in Oklahoma in order to help you be successful and optimal outcomes for both you and your child, where you can still continue on a path to provide a good life for both you and your child. So just another stat for Oklahoma. But that is all for now. I do apologize that this was in several clips. I had a couple interruptions that came in. So it knocked off, if I get a phone call, it knocks off my video. So I apologize about that. But I will post these. I will also post a video for chapter 12. If you have any questions whatsoever, please do not hesitate to reach out to me. Thank you and have a great day.